You cannot make it to the top in that industry without selling your soul. I don't respect those people.
Satan, I command you to take your hand off of God's property. I renounce you.
In the 1970s, Lamont Wilson became a household name for his iconic role as Lamont Sanford in the hit show Sanford and Son. After Sanford ended, he was expected to go on to use his newfound fame to appear in many more shows. Instead, soon after, Wilson disappeared completely from show business. He turned his back on fame and felt as though his work on Sanford and Son had contributed to the degradation of society. Wilson refused to be part of any of the Sanford remakes and did not keep in touch with any of his former colleagues, especially after he had a big falling out with Redd Foxx. Join us as we explore the life of Wilson and explain why he disappeared at the height of his fame. Wilson's early life began when he was born Grady Lamont Wilson on October 13, 1946. He was named after his father, Grady Wilson, though he never went by the name Grady since it was his father's. Later on, the character Grady Wilson in Sanford and Son would be named after him, similar to how Redd Foxx's character Fred Sanford was named after his real-life brother, Fred Sanford Jr. Wilson was born in Valdosta, Georgia. However, he grew up in New York City's Harlem. The reason he was initially born in Georgia was because his mother had him later in her life, at the age of 46, after having miscarried a couple of times. She blamed her previous miscarriages on having to strain and climb 4 stories of stairs in Harlem while pregnant, and so she stayed in Georgia with her mother to avoid having to climb any stairs while pregnant. She knew that, at age 46, this was her last chance to have a child. A month after giving birth, she returned back to Harlem. However, during his childhood, he kept his ties to Georgia as he spent. Wilson's mother harbored a strong desire for her son to succeed. Her favorite entertainer was Bill Bojangles Robinson, a renowned tap dancer of the era. She wished her son to be a dancer, and when Wilson showed an inclination for dancing at the age of 2, his parents seized the opportunity to nurture his talent. Recognizing his potential, Wilson's parents enrolled him in schools designed for gifted children. This path led him to be in the company of other talented individuals such as Frankie Lyman. These institutions were focused on comprehensive performing arts education, emphasizing the development of multiple skills, including singing, dancing, acting, and particularly elocution, a skill Wilson believes is lacking in modern black actors. His dance background would later prove useful in his acting career, providing him with a strong sense of movement and physicality that enhanced his screen presence. And when he later danced on Sanford and Son, audiences were surprised at his dancing abilities, which up until then had been unrecognized on the show. Growing up in Harlem during the 1950s and 1960s, the neighborhood's rich history of arts influenced his perspective and approach to his future roles. In addition to pushing him to pursue acting, his mother was very religious and raised him as a Catholic altar boy. When he was 13, his appendix ruptured, which almost killed him. After this experience, he promised to serve God for the rest of his life. Apart from his acting and religious aspirations, Wilson dealt with the realities of life in New York City by becoming adept at street survival. Despite the challenges, he managed to steer clear of serious trouble and remained focused on his ambition to become an actor. However, outside of the arts, Wilson was also drawn to the typical life of a young boy, yearning to engage in normal activities like riding his bike and playing sports.